Good evening, everyone. So today's topic is about forgiveness. For those who are struggling with this issue, I hope this video can give you some tools or give you some insight to help you with your situation. To begin with, I just want to share that a couple of days ago for us, we just entered the Rains Retreat. And what that is here as Theravada monks, and for monks who are in Asia, is we enter this 3-month period. So we take a vow in a specific location, and in this time for us, we're not able to travel. We are staying put for the next 3 months, and in this time for us, we do our studying, we practice our chanting, we do our meditation, and it really is putting everything else on hold, and again, keep deepening our practice. One of the piece of this that I wanted to pull out because it may be helpful for you is that when we are taking this vow, we have to read out these chantings, and then also a small part of that is then we ask for forgiveness. And we do that with our brother monks. And of course, for me here at the monastery that I'm in, I'm the youngest monk, so I went first. And for me, this is so beautiful because I got an opportunity to have all my brother monks, my teaching monks in front of me. This ceremony gets me a bit emotional. I don't know, maybe I'm just very sensitive, but to be in front of all my senior monks, to get to bow to them 3 times, and then what we do is with our hands up, is I get to ask them for forgiveness. And how that works is for us is anything that I have done intentionally or unintentionally to create harm or to hurt you or to come the wrong way or where it's presented the wrong way, I genuinely apologize. And why we do this and we ask out loud for forgiveness is because we need to witness ourselves doing that. We also need to be witnessed by the people who are in the rooms from our brother monks. And it's beautiful because throughout the year, I've been staying with them for some time. And maybe we do things where they did not appreciate it. Maybe they did not approve of it. And we didn't even know. And sometimes for us, even when they do know, we still talk bad, or we still have an attitude, or we still do things with intention or with malice or ways that may have some effect. And in Buddhism, we know that karma, the concept of cause and effect, is so critical with us. This drives our practice. And we understand and we believe that when you do something, it has an effect. So when you do good, it has good effects. When you do bad, it has bad effects. And again, putting this in its most simplistic terms, if you want to see it as doing things that are wholesome, brings wholesome retributions. Doing things that are unwholesome, unmoral, then bring effects that are not so wholesome. And because we believe in karma and the retribution for us is we want to make sure we cut that. We want to make sure that the consequence is not so heavy. So with this ceremony, this is our opportunity to ask for forgiveness in front of everyone. We also do this ceremony, the same thing when we first become new monks, when we take on ordination. And we do this with our parents specifically, and we also do with our families. Oh, and this one for me, oh my goodness. I saw my parents coming into the hall and I just started crying, and really it's touching and it's emotional for me because we love our parents, we love our families. And many times in these kind of situations, when we get irritated, when we're annoyed, when life pisses us off and we feel the stress and the heaviness and burdens of the world, who do we take it out on? Are the people most closest to us, and in this case was family. And for us is when we're entering into the spiritual world. Why we do this ceremony is, like I said, for one, because we do not want the karma to keep continuing. So the retribution is not too strong. The second part regarding ordination, why we ask for this forgiveness, is because when we're entering the holy life, when we're taking a vow to take on the 227 precepts to leave the physical world behind and go into the spiritual world as new monks, we don't want any of those burdens. So then cut those ties. Ask for forgiveness. Take full responsibilities for your actions, the things that you've done, maybe that you're not proud of. And I was just so emotional and streams of tears pouring down my face, because I'm like, it just hit me where it's like, these are the people who took care of me. These are the people that raised me. And in Buddhism is the amount of gratitude and the debt that we owe our parents is, you can't even measure that. You can donate, you can buy them a car, you can buy them a house, you can do many things for your parents, but for us, for this lifetime, to be born and to be given life, I'm forever in debt to you. And my actions in the past, whether they're big or small, but it just made me sad, and it made me not proud of those moments. So the fact that I got to clear it, and my parents also got to clear it on their ends, and in that moment, the weight, the heaviness just fell off, and immediately I felt free. Immediately I got to speak from the heart, and then it was done. And one more example I would like to share with you is for New Year's, like Thai New Year's. And for me, I was born in Laos, so I'm Laotian. Each New Year for us, we would have the family come together, and all the kids would sit on the ground. We would have our hands together, and then we would ask for forgiveness from our parents as well. Each year. And again, this was just a tradition. This is an activity where we do many things throughout the year, where whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, that can have an effect, and we just want to resolve it in this moment. This picture that you see is my nephew. So even from babies to toddlers to even when we're adults in the lay life, it's just a tradition in Buddhist homes where it's very important for us to ask for forgiveness. And with that said, these three examples, I wanted to share it because some people out there may not be familiar with these traditions. And again, working with clients before being in the monk life, in the therapy world, so many people out there are struggling or holding on to grudges, resentment, anger, things that happened to you from years ago, and some people even decades, and they carry it. And some things that we do, we're not even aware that it hurts someone. And to us, it was no big deal. I just spoke how I normally speak. So it doesn't matter. I felt that way, so I said it. So we don't quite grasp the full magnitude of how our actions can implement or affect the world. So then this ceremony helps us to clean it up. And many people that I come across then can also put up a wall or a defense mechanism. And they're like, it doesn't bother me. I'm cool. I'm okay. And I don't need to apologize. The hurt, the anger, it doesn't affect me. I can just cut it off. So you say. And many people put that wall up. But what I know, and from my experience, and you might believe something different, and that's okay, but from my experience, from my own life, from my experience of the people around me, from my experience of all the thousands of clients that I met with, is that if you have things, or if you have attachments, if you have hurts and pains, or things you're still carrying from the past, you can say you're over it. But is that really true? And does it still linger on? So if you're at this point in your life and you want to make sure you cut it off the correct way, and do it fully now, try this out. And I was just giving a layperson who came to me, and they were asking for advice about a different issue. And for some reason, this topic of forgiveness came up. And this can be an exercise for anyone watching. If you want to move your life forward where you don't have the burdens, you don't have the heaviness, maybe you're still mad at a friend, maybe you're still holding grudges from a third grade, and you're 57 years old. Maybe it's time to forgive, maybe it's time to heal, and maybe it's time to let it go. But one way for us that we can do is to ask for forgiveness and get that person on the phone, or if you can, come in person and do this sacred ceremony. It does not have to be formal, but for me, the act of seeing and witnessing yourself taking full responsibility, and to be witnessed by someone else at the same time, is so helpful. So one of the exercise that I did a while back was really because I knew I wanted to move my life forward, and I just needed all the energy at that time, and I was just over it. And what I did was I just made tons of phone calls and tons of appointments, and those who I have relations with, I need to just address any unresolved issues. So I would call them, set up an appointment, and right there, anything that I've done to intentionally or unintentionally harm you or hurt you or have an effect on your life, I sincerely take full responsibility and I ask for your forgiveness. And then you're done, and now you can be free, and the retribution can be less, and then you can continue on with the rest of your life. One tool, a caveat for those who do this practice, it really is a way where when you do it, make sure do not engage in a conflict afterwards. Don't then, if someone says anything to you after, you apologize to your parents and your parents have a reaction and they begin to criticize you of your behaviors, then for me, I would say, just give them that space. It's okay. And they can have their own experience. But what is even most important, the number one most imperative thing to take away from this, is you're doing it for yourself. Hopefully, if they have that wisdom, they can gain that benefit also. But you can't control that. What you can control is, again, your own experience. You can control your own actions and take full accountability and free yourself. And this can be a game changer, and this can be a tool that can free you moving forward. And now, with that free energy, pursue your life. Let's do what needs to be done, and life is too short. So let's do the best we can. But with that said, I hope it is helpful. If you have someone you still have something to address with, or unresolved issues, or you need forget, clear it. And hopefully you can take this tip, and I genuinely hope this is helpful. So with that said, again, as always, greetings to you from Thailand and blessings to you all. So Satu.